Good evening and welcome to the Evening Review. My name is Sukhane Tlhache, and joining us from the London, UK is Petrus Undari, who will be speaking on the issue of mass deportations of Namibians from that country. Welcome to the Evening Review, sir. Now, we recently saw that the Home Office in the UK and the Ministry of International Relations are engaged in talks looking at now the repatriation of over 1,200 Namibians from the UK back to Namibia. Why do you believe Namibians are seeking asylum in the UK?
Well, first of all, we need to look at domestic pressing issues in Namibia. We need to look at social justice. We need to look at the law of the land. And then you need to look at those individual people who are in the diaspora or who are traveling to leave their country to get to the UK, and what are their cries. So for us as Namibians, we are having a lot of social injustices that are taking place currently in Namibia. Some people have got economical reasoning. Some people have issues regarding LGBT communities and many other forceful marriages. The common law of Namibia that is behind certain social injustices when it comes to LGBT communities and so forth. And as a citizen of the world, we do have the right to go to a country which you feel you are safe to exercise your human rights.
And then, is the UK justified in its decision to want to deport over 1,200 Namibians from that country?
No, the UK is not justified. I think I'm a little bit disappointed and dismayed by His Excellency, the British High Commissioner to Namibia, Charles Moore, for his remarks by saying that the asylum seeker situation is shameful. I don't know why he has to come up with such remarks, because as someone who is representing the United Kingdom to Namibia, he should be able to know what is happening on the ground level. And the Namibians who are coming to the UK to claim asylum here, they have cases of either abuse or torture or discrimination, that then the UK government should look at each case carefully and to make their judgment. And the UK government themselves, they should make a case study. You know, we are talking in terms of common laws, which refers to today's deemed as anti-gay law. We know that the Namibian government does not allow such things to happen in Namibia, but in the UK, in other Western countries, it is okay. So I am a little bit disappointed and dismayed at the same time. And also, once we look at articles of human rights, we have Article 8 of human rights, and the UK is bound by that article, though even after the Brexit, it is bound by that article to exercise it and to make sure that everyone who's coming to the United Kingdom is taken care of. Someone seeking asylum, you cannot say that we will deport you back where you are coming from. If you do that, it means that you are breaking the very fundamental basic human right that you yourself are bound to protect. Or Article 8, Article 3 that stipulate about private life. It means that it does not mean anything. So therefore, as a community of Namibians who are here, we will be fighting with other international organizations, human rights organizations, to make sure that the UK is also held accountable to what they are currently doing with the asylum seekers from Namibia.
And then I want to find out, Namibian citizens, when they leave Namibia to seek asylum in the UK and become assimilated in that country, how would you describe the behavior of Namibians living in the UK towards that country in terms of efforts at nation building, efforts at not getting involved in crimes or any illicit activities, efforts to live in unison with people in the UK?
Yeah, I've been living in the UK. This has been my 20th year in this country, and I've been involved in a lot of community building activities, bringing the Namibian community together. I've been a leader of one or two associations of Namibians, namely ANUK, and also CNGB, which is Community of Namibians in Great Britain. In this kind of communities, associations, we bring Namibians together, or we try to bring Namibians together to help each other be acquainted with the law of the land, and make sure that we are not on the wrong side of the law. And it is rather unfortunate because sometimes we do find individuals who will be found to be on the wrong side of the law, but we cannot control that because that can happen to anyone, anywhere in the world. You know, people are prone to be breaking the law somehow. So you will find a number of Namibians who are here also breaking the laws, you know, and that is part of human nature. That's how people behave. They have to be controlled. They have to be controlled by the law. However, the law is in place to control certain individuals' behavior, and you will find that that certain individual will also break the law so that the law can be enforced.
As Namibians living in the UK, are you starting to feel any anti-immigrant sentiment on the ground from the people living in the UK? Do you feel that there's an anti-immigrant stance from this government in the UK? You know, what is the feeling towards people from Namibia by nationals or natives of the UK?
Now, normally, as we know, the United Kingdom, it's a welcoming nation. They open their doors to everyone who's coming, either escaping from any form of persecution, or they may be war or any form of any form, you know. But we know also that there's a certain degree that anyone would want to, you know, welcome individuals within their borders. I think in the UK recently or recent years have experienced the influx numbers of migrants from Eastern Europe, and as a result, the natives themselves have started feeling the heat of these incomers or these new immigrants coming in, and this put a heavy burden on the NHS, the health society, education and housing, and many other structures of the government. Hence, the British Brexit came, and after the Brexit, you know, as someone who's coming from outside, we have started feeling that the time has come that now we are no longer needed. The Great Britain is cleaning its self from outsiders. So there is that feeling that we are feeling as outsiders in this nation. You know, it was not the way back when we first came here, but now you can tell that now we're feeling the pinch. You know, we're feeling it, and we're feeling the heat, and on a very serious note.
And then if one has to look at the Namibian community living in the UK relative to others, let's look at the recent issue of Ukrainians fleeing their country. You would have an Indian community, you would have an Arab community, and so on and so forth. Relative to others, would you say that the number of Namibians in the UK justifies the deportation of Namibians back to Namibia?
Not at all. Not at all. We are, as Namibians here, we're in a small number, small proportion compared to other nations. it does not even reach, any significant number at the moment. Therefore, as members of the Commonwealth, we should be considered, and we're not asking, for many things, really. We are only asking, or our people are asking, to be given an opportunity to be able to live a better life free from any form of discrimination of any nature. So, therefore, the numbers of Namibians here, really, you can't say that they are putting too much pressure on the UK economy, or they are putting too much of all the Namibians people here, which has been echoed by the British High Commissioner, that we are abusing the UK system. That's not correct at all. That's political.
I want to continue with this conversation, but I'll have to ask you to hold on while we go for a short commercial break. So just hang in there while we pay the bills through advertising.
Sport Wrap is a daily show focusing on all sport news and current affairs. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact sportwrap@synergy.com.na.
My.NA Property Show provides viewers with the best in-class content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest property-related products and services. If you would like to feature your brand or your campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Properties, more than just a roof over your head.
NMH at 1 brings you news from all across Namibia. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact NMH1 at synergy.com.na. NMH at 1, your lunchtime news companion.
Welcome back to the evening review. I want to know from you, what avenues do you think should have been pursued by both governments in dealing with this matter?
Well, very good. That's one of the very good and important questions in this matter. There are rules of law that need to be followed. There is asylum-seeking rules that are there in place, and there are certain steps under Article 8 of Human Rights. When you're seeking asylum, when you are rejected for the very time, you should be given time to appeal. Any refusal, appeal should be there. You cannot go just shoot ahead and say, forceful removal should be considered. And the Namibian government itself, I think it should distance itself from this conversation with the UK government, because the UK government is obliged by law to deal with anyone coming to seek asylum there, and when asylum is happening and when someone is escaping from something, you cannot take them back to what is chasing them. That is inhumane. So let us find a rather contingency plan of how to address these issues. How are we going to deal with the Namibian influx into the UK? What is chasing the Namibian young population from Namibia to come into the UK? What is the Namibian government is doing that will help hold its talent within the country? I've been here and I've studied here for so many years. Each time I try to penetrate the Namibian job market, there is no way I can penetrate because I'm an outsider. So Namibia should prepare itself to keep its own. And the UK should use the rule of law to protect people who are saying that we are struggling. We are struggling due to unfair treatment in the land where we are coming from. We are struggling due to discrimination. We are struggling because we have been dispossessed of our land due to the genocide. The UK government knows the issues of the genocide, so they should know better. And they should treat the Namibians population in the UK with decency and integrity and respect.
I understand that approximately 200 Namibians have been deported since December. How would you describe the mood amongst those who have been listed or targeted for deportation?
That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate because some deportations, or most of them, are not justified, and proper research need to be done. And we have got community groups here in the UK. If the UK government want to find out about the livelihood of Namibians, you should ask the people on the ground. We engage with the Namibian High Commissioner here at Chandos Street in London. You know, if there's anything pressing, we should be in communication to help each other improve the life of the people, because it's the life of the individuals that we want to improve. By sending them back to Namibia, you are saying that go back and suffer, create an unrest situation in your country, go give problems to your own country because you are not our responsibility. But as a civilized Western nation, the UK, I'm sure they will reconsider their position when it comes to this kind of things, and the Namibian government will do the right things and distance itself from the rope that the UK government is attempting to put around Namibians' neck.
And then on this matter, any concluding remarks from your end or a message to government in dealing with this matter?
Well, I have a few questions actually to ask to both UK and Namibian government, because unless those matters are sorted, then we can speak a different language. Number one is that we have the issue of people who have been returned to Namibia. You know, is there any structure or plan in place to integrate them in the Namibian economy? Mind you, some of these people have been here for so many years, which means that if you've been in the country for more than 10 years, everything about you change. You are more likely to be, acquainted with in that new place where you are than where you are coming from. So is there anything that will be put in place? Because today's villagers, when we read, there's an article by Kudumo which indicates that Namibian economy can't absorb the returnees. How are we going to deal with that as a government, Namibian government? Secondly, is the Namibian government now ready to intervene in the issues and situations relating to people who were not sent by them outside the country? Because we remember the situation of Ukrainian and Namibian students who were studying in Ukraine. The people in Namibia who were trafficked to Omar. The Namibian government didn't want to associate themselves with those people. Now, are they now ready to intervene in the Namibian population who are in the UK who were not sent by them? And my third question is this: is the Namibian government ready now to introduce the law that will accommodate LGBT communities in the society without discrimination? Because what is in place now is not favorable to those communities. What is in place for the young boys and girls who are running away from forced marriages and sexual abusive situation? There is so-called Ministry of Gender Equality, yet such heinous crimes are still committed at their doorstep. Is there anything that will be put in place now to make sure that these things are met? Finally, is there going to be equal job opportunity for graduates that are coming from abroad? Because we who are studying abroad, we are faced with a situation whereby our degrees are downgraded by NQA. So if I've got an honors degree from the UK university and I go to Namibia, they will downgrade it. Is there anything that is going to be done so that my study that I've put so much hard work in it is going to be taken for its value rather than being downgraded? So all these questions are going to be pointed both to the UK and the Namibian government, Because since now they are partnering up now to make sure that the life of Namibians who are in the diaspora, most likely in the UK, be put in jeopardy and be returned to a poverty-stricken Namibia due to corruption and many other things.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Evening Review.
Thank you very much for having me.
That concludes the Evening Review. Good night.